Did you know you can pay people on Fiverr for PC building advice? I want to build a new PC, but I'm lazy, so I want to do it in the easiest way possible. So let's try to find the best PC building advice on Fiverr that we can. We've got people starting at $5 all the way up to $25 starting fee, and we'll see which one gives the best advice. Up first, we got JCN saying, I will help you build or upgrade your PC for $5. He doesn't have any reviews, so I'm taking a risk here. There's a $2.28 service fee. What will be using the PC for? For video games. What is my budget? 500 bucks. Does your budget include peripherals? No, just the PC, please. Do I want some sort of RGB lighting? Isn't that how it goes fast? I like the questions he's asking. We've got Mark versus Zombies. I will build you your PC for gaming, office, home streaming. Comes up with the best and complete list of components, depends on your budget. Fast and free consultation. Got some nice pictures of some completed builds. I would probably help you. He has a sharp proficiency with graphic design. He could have photoshopped all these pictures. Let's see how it goes. What's the main purpose of the PC? Gaming. How much is the budget? $500. Mark doesn't have a whole lot of questions. We've got Ben Green Woo. This looks like he stole the picture off of somewhere. I will put together a compatible list of gaming PC parts for you. Love it. He enjoys anything to do with PCs. Let's try it. $728. What is your budget? $500. Where are you based? Nobody else has asked that. That's a good question to have. Do you need any specific aesthetics? I want it to look fast. What kind of games are you looking to play? Elden Ring, Fortnite, God of War. Does your budget include monitor, keyboard, and mouse? No, just PC, please. Are you willing to go with any used components? Mainly GPU in these hard times. Yes, as long as it doesn't catch on fire.
Around me are familiar faces.
Okay, now we have a simp Ahari. He says, I'll help you build a sweet gaming PC or work PC. We'll review and talk over what kind of dream PC you're looking, if not the best gaming PC parts. Standard for $60. He'll help me build my PC virtually, and then premium for $250. He will build PC for you and set up stream. I think we're just gonna go with his advice, but leave a comment down below if you want us to actually have people teach us how to build PCs. 2 days delivery from this guy. What type of PC would you like? Gaming. What is your budget? $500. That's it? Guys, you gotta ask more questions. What games do I want to play? Where am I located? Do I touch grass? These are things we need to know. Next, we got Parthagudu coming up with, I will give tips for gaming and PC building. Complete suggestions regarding game for $5. Tell me something about the product. I want to play Elden Ring and my PC budget is $500. Please help. That's like the least helpful one so far. I don't even know what he's offering me. Now we got Valen Lega. This guy actually has reviews. He has 2 5-star reviews. I'll help you to find the right PC for you PC build or pre-built. Okay, we got a $5 PC basic recommendation. He'll link me the right PC parts. Standard's $10, like this. The advanced explanation on upgradability, or the premium, which is $20, which is all mentioned, plus full setup recommendation, streaming, color customization, and peripherals. I think we go with the premium recommendation here. Do you want to build it on your own, or do you prefer a pre-built? I would like to try to build it. Do you want RGB if it makes the PC go faster? Not as many questions from this guy, and I'm spending $20 on him. I will for just $6. I will help you to build a new gaming PC. My confidence is through the roof on this guy. He says for $6, and he's charging $10. Okay, 1-day delivery, 5 revisions. He's gonna give me a test scenario, a summary report, annotated screenshots, 6 minutes, test desktop, and test mobile for $10. That's a whole lot of quality. Fabulous says, I'll help you build your first gaming PC. That's a lot of assumption. I'm no PC building virgin here. For $10, he'll send a parts list on PC part picker that matches your budget. At least he's being honest. That's what he's gonna do. For $30, he will visualize the PC in a program so you can see how it looks. Is he gonna use PC Building Simulator? I guarantee you that's what it is.
It says he pulls off quite impressive 3D modeling and lighting in Blender.
Okay, if this is a 3D render, I'm impressed. Do you have any specifically colored theme? I like hot pink and teal. I will nothing. I just need money to build a PC. I just need money. Average response time 1 hour. Everybody keeps asking me for a PC. Okay, you know what? I'll give this guy $10. $13.43 after all of the service fees. The seller needs the following information. My budget for PC, $500. Can you please, I'm asking him for something in return for this 10 bucks. Please contact me before ordering to discuss your project and needs. We'll go with one guy, legitimate esports pose. I would like to play Elden Ring. So that's all the ones we're gonna order. We're gonna wait a few days, come back to the messages, start developing the PC builds and see what happens. Do you wanna be like these Fiverr people and have great skills? Well, that's where today's video sponsor Skillshare comes in. My friends, they're the online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who loves learning and wants to explore your creativity and learn new skills. You can invest in yourself and your personal growth. This is something I believe in tremendously. I believe that me as a person is incomplete and I'm always looking to learn new skills, learn new things, and that's why I always love having Skillshare as a sponsor. And whether it's been trying to be a better content creator by taking NKBHD's course or learning how to be more creative, or like our latest venture of trying to keep the plants alive, we've been taking the indoor gardening class, grow houseplants, veggies, and herbs, and so far, we're like 3 weeks in and they're not dead. Or whether you're interested in keeping your houseplants alive, you want a career pivot, or just want to express your creativity and get some self-growth, Skillshare is there for you. And Skillshare is ad-free, so you can stay in the zone while you're exploring your new skills. There's new premium classes launched every week, so there's always something new to discover, and their entire catalog is now available with subtitles in Spanish, French, Portuguese, and German. My friends, do some growing in your life and check out the link in the video description, which will give you 1 month for free of Skillshare for the first 1,000 people who click the link. Again, check the link in the video description. Skillshare, start inspiring yourself, grow creatively. Big thanks to them for sponsoring today's video. So it's been a week and now we have all of our responses, or at least most of them. The guy who said he'd give us nothing for the $10 we gave him, he didn't lie. That order didn't get delivered at all. The guy for who just $6 will help me build a new gaming PC also did not get back to me whatsoever. But that does not mean that we didn't get some helpful advice. Some of it is still really iffy. So this guy, he says there's no way to include a graphics card in a $500 budget PC build, which just is not true. He didn't ask whether I'd be okay with used, which is something that I think you can learn if you're doing Fiverr. Ask more questions of what your client would feel comfortable with. But he does recommend a 5700G and then linked me a PC build in an RTF file. Not in a PC part picker, not in any way where I could actually click on the links. I had to download a file and then open it up in Notepad. He only wanted to give me a 240 gig SSD. That didn't sit right with me. And then we got the guy who said he would 3D render everything for us. We spent $36 on this guy, okay? Expecting some primo Blender setup. This PC build ends up being 621 euro, which is well above my pay range that I stated to him of 500 bucks. And part of that is because he wanted to get the NR200p in teal for 95 euro, which just doesn't work. We could have saved a whole lot of money and actually built this 5600G system for the right price, but because he was trying to stick to that teal, he went off on the budget for that. But you want to see the premium Blender pictures? Here's my PC in PC Building Simulator, which is exactly what I thought he was going to do. And I mean, it looks all right, I guess. That's a little bit of false advertising. Probably would have paid $15 for this. In his bio, he's trying to convince you that he's going to use Blender. He did not do that. I guess it's the simple way, but I feel like I got overcharged for what I got. And then we have this build. This man, dedicated to his craft. So the PC build, a little bit too expensive, didn't give me anything that really works within the budget, but then gave me, instead of an actual link to any parts, he screenshotted all of the pages on Newegg and then put them in a PDF so that I cannot click on them. I have to go and search for it myself. This is absolutely the peak of efficiency right here. Also, he went over the $500 budget. But you know, if I want to buy this GTX 1050 Ti, I just gotta go search for it. But he then did offer me several alternatives of what I could do with an APU, or otherwise he wrote a novel to me of all of the things that he could potentially do for the build, or I could change. He actually did pretty well. So he region specified it, gave me Newegg stuff. Obviously, I probably would prefer a link instead of an actual PDF, but I'm mildly satisfied with this one. This man just completely disregarded all of the things that I said about what I wanted. So I said I wanted a $500 budget PC, and then if we look at what this guy delivered to me, Windows 11 Home, a Phanteks P400A, an i5-12600F, a deep cool liquid cooler, an RTX 3050 600 watt power supply, a Z690 motherboard, 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gig SSD, and a 2 terabyte hard drive, which out of all of these, that is not anywhere near $500. The GPU itself, I mean, if you assume MSRP is half the budget, the Z690 is gonna cost $150. We've already spent most of the budget there. He says you should be able to get these parts on Amazon. Didn't even provide me links. It was just like, here's what you're supposed to search for, and that for the video card, he can also recommend a 2080. So he just clearly did not read what we want. This next one actually wasn't a bad suggestion. He asked me if I already have a monitor and if the budget needs to be included with that. I did not respond to him in time, so he just delivered it with the monitor, which is very ambitious for $500, but he did do it by sacrificing everything. An Athlon 3000G processor, which is just absolutely awful, and 128 gig SSD with a 1 terabyte hard drive, still getting 16 gigs of RAM and a GT 1030. He crammed a whole lot into this. And then the ever popular Acer SB220Q 21.5 inch monitor, 1080p, 75 hertz. This guy actually hit the mark pretty well. We weren't looking to do something with the monitor, but out of all of what we asked for, he kind of delivered it. This guy did a good job. But now let's look at the great jobs. Ben Greenwoo coming in with a solid delivery here. So he gave me a PC part picker list, which is number one, the best way to do it, especially because it's geocentrically located to me. But then also his suggestion is the exact same $500 PC build that we've already done on the channel. It has an i3-10100F, an RTX 3070, an S9 550 500 gig SSD, and this is a solid suggestion. If you want to check out that video, you can watch right here. Elden Ring killed the GPU in that one. He also gave me a secondary follow-up of an APU only build. I have a little bit of an issue with this one because it's only a 3400G, and I think I could get a little bit better than that, but he does give me a $500 budget. Very thorough, very good, solid recommendations. He asked all of the right questions and he delivered one of the best results that we got from Fiverr. Now we're down to our top two. We've got this one, gave me a PC part picker list, highly recommends I spend at least $800, but gave me a $500 system anyways. Told me what to upgrade. Told me that RGB won't give me FPS, which is the damned lie and he knows it. He says if I have any questions, if I want to go for a higher budget, he's more than willing to help me out. And the PC build is rock solid. Ryzen 5 5600G, B550M power supply, 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gig SSD coming in, did a fantastic job. But now let's get to the one we're actually gonna build, because this guy put in the best effort. PC part picker list. He gave me the price of everything and included some extra cooling on all of this. He explained his reasoning behind all of the parts and then gave me some suggestions in case I wanted to spruce it up. So when we come down to the total price, 16 gigs of RAM, 5600G, A520 motherboard, 500 gig SSD, a case, 550 watt power supply, so I have good room for upgrading, and then some fans. It was just below $500, and that is exactly what we picked up and what we're gonna build and what we're gonna test against our $500 PC build to see how it stacks up and whether or not you can trust Fiverr for building your own PC. The Fiverr PC actually does all right, especially for an APU. Number one, look at how good this thing looks. Obviously without a GPU in there. It's a very sleek, minimalistic setup, but the parts he recommended all go together. It's like a very black aesthetic right here, and I absolutely love it. But then number two, how does it perform, especially compared to our $500 PC build, which did include a GPU of a GTX 970, which happened to explode, but that's neither here nor there. What are the numbers like? Well, mostly worse because it's an APU. It's expected, like on average 55% worse than just getting a 970. So in Elden Ring, we managed to get 30.8 FPS at 1080p low, which is 48% worse than the 970. In Fortnite, we managed 70.1 FPS, which is 60% worse. In Valorant, we're at 163.4, which was 40% worse, which makes sense because it's a CPU-bound title, and the 5600G is actually a fairly good CPU. In God of War, we managed 18.1 FPS at 1080p low. It's kind of unplayable, which is 73% lower than the 970. Horizon Zero Dawn was 18.9 FPS, which is 75% lower than the 970. And in Cyberpunk 2077, we managed 15.4 FPS at 61.69% lower than the 970. So it's very clear that this 5600G is meant to be used at 720p low. I was just comparing it to our previous $500 PC build. You can tell that it's a lot worse, but you do have room for upgradability. Number one, the guy gave us 550 watt power supply, so we can upgrade the GPU later on. Then we also have space for a GPU in here. It really isn't a bad choice, and there are some good options on Fiverr for you to go ahead and choose and see, hey, can you help me out build a PC, instead of asking faceless YouTubers in their comments being like, Brett, build me a PC. Brett, can you tell me if this works? Brett, go pay somebody for it. You don't pay me anything. But in case you want to see how bad the 5600G is, go watch the comparison video I did between that and the 5600X.